How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. Today I want to talk to you about really 4 different things that are massive coming up in the next few days that could change the crypto market for the better or for the worse. And it will also affect the stock market. So we're going to go through that. I also want to hit on a few things before that, just how you can make some money and how some people are going to be losing a lot of money over the next several months, really, when we're continuously in the bear market. Now, like I said, we might actually pop out of the bear market depending on what happens in the next few days, but chances are we're going to have an extended bear market just because that's what's happened in the past. We'll talk more about that though. If you don't mind hitting the like button and subscribe button, I really appreciate that. If you've watched these videos before and you like them, feel free to hit subscribe. I know a lot of people are getting out of the crypto market just because there's been a lot of pain, but this is where it's really important to pay attention to what's happening because of the fact that now are the best prices to buy for the long term. Now, let's get into it. So the crypto market's looking pretty good here today. We're rebounding after testing the 200-week moving average yesterday for Bitcoin. Ethereum's back over 1,600. BNB, XRP, Cardano, all these are pumping up a bit here today. And I think a lot of people are wondering what happens from here. This is pretty much the upper range of where we've been over the last month or two. And now we have some important dates coming on the way. Now, a couple different things you can do right now before we get into the dates. One thing you can do is just add Bitcoin. That's something that I've been doing for a long time. For the last couple months, I've only been adding Bitcoin just because I realize that there's a huge potential that we could fall down more, right? Even if everything kind of turns around macro, the fact is we've had so much leverage taken out of the market, it wouldn't really make sense until a lot more new money comes in for us to hit all-time highs again, which might take a year or two. In the meantime, what we've seen in the past is we continuously fall down. We have a little bull market or a little bear market recovery, a little bit of a bounce, and then come back down even further. And a lot of the altcoins bleed towards Bitcoin. Right now, the dominance isn't very high for Bitcoin. It's just about 40%. And typically we see it hit 45, 50, 55%, 60% in the bear market. Now, another thing you can do is just make sure that you don't leave. A lot of people are leaving the market, like I said earlier, and they're just selling off their holdings. They realize, okay, here's a little bit of a bounce. I'm just going to sell off completely, get out. Maybe I'll buy back in a year or something like that. I think really the safest way is just to dollar cost average, like I just said, and make sure you're not one of the people that's buying heavy right now and then have us dip further and then us fall back into the red, right? A lot of people will be doing that. They'll get greedy when we see a 20, 30% move here. They'll buy a lot, like maybe all their dry powder thinking we're going to hit 30,000 again or 35,000. And then we might fall back down further, at least for a short period of time, and then they'll get discouraged and sell off just to get their money back out. So you don't want to be one of those people. One thing you also can do is invest in early projects. Now, keep this in mind that you have to invest really early in these new projects and you can make a good return. And I've talked about this several times. If you can get into a private sale, now that's very tricky here in the US. Really, if you're outside the US, this is where you want to do it. Or if you're able to work with them in some way and get some kind of business agreement to get paid in crypto or something like that, that can be a great thing too. The reason I bring that up is there's a new crypto here today that's dropping, AMAZY Realverse. And the reason I bring this up is because they're listing on some of the biggest exchanges, OKX, Bybit, PancakeSwap, Gate.io, MEXC. They're all starting at the same time. And that's because they have a great management team that's pushing this in a lot of different places at one time. Now, AMAZY is like another crypto recently that has become really popular. It's a lifestyle app that allows you to stay in shape and earn at the same time. Walk or jog and exclusive NFT sneakers inspired by favorite bloggers and influencers. So you can see they have pretty sleek design. They have a ton of celebrities and artists and YouTubers and crypto YouTubers and TikTokers. They have a very big marketing team. I work with them as well. They're here on OKX. I'll leave a link to OKX underneath the video as well. They're a partner of the channel, second largest derivatives market. They have institutional trading with 350 supported assets. This year they have a big sponsorship with McLaren and Man City. And if you deposit $50, you can get a a mystery box up to $10,000. So again, I'll leave a link to this underneath the video, but you can see some of these new projects, if you can get in at the private round or just really early on before they start dumping, because a lot of the time they will pump up and then dump for a while because people are taking profits, that's a 20x return. If you can invest some amount of money, that can get you a good return. Now, I've talked about it more with Tencent. They're another kind of a launch pad for projects. I think they have one coming up here too soon, but the last project they did was a 200x. So this is where you can make some quick money, but you want to be very careful about this just because a lot of the time they do pump up and then fall off. As you can see right now, you could have already lost about 50, 60, 70%. But if you were one of these people that got in really early and then have it pump up, you could get a nice 20, 30, 40x, which is not crazy for these things, but you have to get into the right projects if you do that. Now let's move on to that into some of the big pieces of news that are coming here very soon. So next week, July 26th and 27th, the Fed meeting. This will tell us how much they're raising rates. It seems crazy that we're doing this again when we just had it in June, but that's how it works. So we have the next Fed meeting. Jerome Powell, a lot of people think is going to raise rates by 100 basis points because we had inflation continuously tick up. Now, it's hard to determine exactly how the market will react to this. A lot of people are actually excited when we move up more basis points or increase rates more, just because they think that the Fed is taking inflation more seriously and there's more of a chance that we're actually going to fall down then. And then the Thursday after the Fed meeting, we actually have GDP numbers come out. So this is going to be like a 1-2 punch where we're going to see if we actually go into a recession, if we've actually had a recession. Last quarter, we had negative GDP. 2 quarters would mean a recession. And a lot of people just want to get this done with because typically we see a bottom during the recession, not after the numbers actually come out, but actually when it's happening because the market always tries to price things in ahead of time. And then during all of this, during when the Fed's meeting, during when we see the GDP numbers, we have some of the major tech earnings. Google, Facebook, Apple, Microsoft. These companies announce next week. So we're going to have so many big pieces of news. We're going to see how companies are reacting to the economic climate, what they're projecting moving forward. Hopefully they will tell us that, but sometimes they might just say that they have no way of forecasting what's going to happen in the future. So it'll be really fascinating to see everything that's happening next week and to see what comes out of this. Now, the fact is, with all this happening, I think we could see a boost from GDP, or we could see a boost from the Fed, or we could see a boost just from company earnings, and this could affect the overall market. I think we're going to have to wait until we see inflation numbers actually turn around to be able to see a massive change in the market, but I think that we could start off on the right foot with some of the events that are happening next week, especially with company earnings. But let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Thank you so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Thank you for hitting the like, subscribe, check out OKX underneath the video, and you can check out AMAZY on OKX, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.